The government whip third speaker of today's debate, and we, the government's team, strongly support the motion this House believes that Korea should be willing to go to war over its island dispute with Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to rebut against all of the opposition's assertions. First of all, I'd like to state one thing before I move on. The fact that Japan has declared, our definition is that once Japan has provoked our country, we will take action and we will go to war. This means that once Japan has declared war, it means that and invaded our land. It means that they are not willing to take back their actions and retreat just because we proposed a negotiation, ladies and gentlemen. This does not make sense. It clearly means that if Japan has declared war and invaded our land, they have thought about this and thought about all circumstances beforehand, even the circumstance of us proposing negotiation. And now I'd like to rebut. The opposition team has claimed that Korea's image will deteriorate because in the world, a country that declares war and that goes to war doesn't have very good images, ladies and gentlemen. However, we the government team strongly disagree. First of all, it will show how strong we are, and it will show how defensive Korea can be, and it can improve national security. Therefore, because other countries will hesitate to invade our land, ladies and gentlemen. We clearly say that Japan has thought of us as a very weak country, and the fact that they have declared war constantly is because they have thought of us weakly, ladies and gentlemen. If we increase our national security, and if we prove that we are a very defensive country and that we are capable of protecting ourselves, no other country will be able to invade us anymore. Moving on, the deputy leader of opposition has also talked about contradictions. They claim that our prime minister has stated that Korea hasn't taken any action so far. But however, our deputy prime minister has claimed that Korea has attempted for negotiations for the past 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposition team has clearly misunderstood our Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister stated that we haven't taken aggressive actions, ladies and gentlemen. This means that we haven't been aggressive in protecting our own land, ladies and gentlemen. This means that we haven't taken action first, and this is why we, the government team, strongly believe that we must take action. In addition, the opposition team's second assertion was North Korean invasion. First of all, we do not understand why the opposition team is so 100% sure that North Korea will invade our country once we're in war with Japan. And secondly, the opposition team and their third assertion, they kept on going on and on about the USA. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, USA does have a big impact on our country, and yes, 30% of Korea's military does consist of the U.S. military. However, we have to be independent, ladies and gentlemen. We have to learn how to stand on ourselves. The U.S. troops will, and they claim that the U.S. troops will retreat because they do not want dispute over island war broken out between Korea and Japan. However, ladies and gentlemen, North Korean invasion and war between Korea and Japan are two very different things. And no, U.S. troops will not retreat because, as the opposition team clearly stated earlier, yes, war between North Korea and South Korea has effect on many other countries such as China, Russia, and the United States. China and Russia are unlikely to support North Korea, and the United States is likely to support South Korea. This means that warfare that's broken out between North Korea and South Korea is not only a problem between North Korea and South Korea, but it's a problem worldwide, and therefore the United States has no option but to take action in order to protect themselves. In order to protect themselves. And I'd like to state one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Dispute about island between Korea and Japan is a thing that we, Korea, have to deal with. It is our problem, ladies and gentlemen. Not China's, not Russia's, and not the United States, but ours. We must learn how to handle our own problems, and we must learn how to stand on ourselves. We cannot depend on other countries for the rest of Korea's development, ladies and gentlemen. In addition, our definition, we'd like to clearly state again that we will not take action, that we will take action and we will go to war when Japan provokes us and when Japan declares war. We will try our best to negotiate with Japan because, yes, we do believe war has negative consequences, and that's why we're trying to come to peaceful negotiations instead of war. However, when Japan brings troops, and when they bring guns and declare war. And when they invade our land, we strongly believe that we must take action, because not taking action would only deteriorate the situation. And third of all, if we keep on backing out because we're afraid of the consequences, ladies and gentlemen, Korea will not be able to develop. If we're afraid that the United States will turn their back on us just because we have a dispute over island with Japan, and if we're afraid that this might have negative results in our image, in the national image, we will not be able to do anything in the future, anything now or the future, ladies and gentlemen. The Republic of Korea will not be able to develop their economy or nothing, because if we stay low because we're afraid of things, then we're not going to take action even in the future, ladies and gentlemen. And we believe that the opposition team is only saying that we must negotiate because they're afraid to take action, and because they're afraid to be aggressive, and because they're afraid to protect our own land. We strongly believe that Dokdo is our island and that we should be the ones protecting it, not the US and not any other country, and that we should not back out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to talk about our first assertion, which is about demonstration, because it seems like the opposition team was not clear with it. Demonstration. We have enough problems with other countries, and we have enough problems to deal with. We cannot handle and we cannot take the risk of having conflicts within the country, because it will only deteriorate the situation Korea is in. It will have negative impact on our economy. And therefore, we the opposition, we the government team, strongly believe that Korea should be willing to go to war over its island dispute with Japan. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember that we have defined it as we're willing to go to war as when Japan provokes us, we will go to war. Thank you for listening.